Class, for our week 4 again, for the part 2, let's have the sum and product of the roots of the quadratic equation. So let us remember the standard form of the quadratic equation. Before we get the value of A, B, and C, we must have the standard form. So in our given, let us identify if the following is already in standard form. Is number 1 in standard form? Okay, yes. How about number 2? Yes. How about number 3? Yes. So there's no problem anymore in the standard form of numbers 1 to 3 of my given. Okay. So this time you are going to get the values of A, B, and C. So the value of A in number 1 is 1. Always remember ha, kapag walang katabi yung variable, automatically ang katabi niya is 1. How about the value of B? So we have 8. How about the value of C? So we have positive 12. Okay. Now class, let's have the second given. So let's have 5x squared minus 7x minus 6 is equal to 0. So our A is 5. Our B is negative 7. And our C is negative 6. Now for our third, we have 4 for our A. Negative 5 for our B, and negative 6 for our C. Now, we are going to get the roots of the quadratic equation. For us to get the root, we can use different factoring techniques. So for me, I will use, for example, factoring using quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula again is negative B plus and minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. So yun ang gagamitin ko, no? So since meron na tayong ABC, madali na nating palitan to dito sa ating quadratic formula. So we have negative B, so we have negative 8. So tandaan sa quadratic formula ha, yung nasa labas, pinapalitan natin yung sign, yung B sa labas. Okay? Dahil may negative doon sa formula. So, plus and minus, square root of, so we have B squared. So, we have 8 to the second power. So, dito, dahil walang negative B sa formula, hindi natin papalitan yung sign ng ating given. Magiging 8 pa rin siya. Mula doon sa ating given sa number 1. Minus 4, what is the value of A? So, we have 1. In number 1 ha, we are in number 1. Okay, and then we have C, which is 12 over 2 times A, which is 1. So X is equal to negative 8 plus and minus. So what is 8 times 8? So the answer is 64, correct? Okay, so we have 64. So let us multiply this. So we have negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. So negative 4 times 12, what's the answer? Correct. So we have negative 48 over 2 times 1. The answer is 2. 64 minus 48 is equal to, correct, 16 over 2. X is equal to, what is the square root of 16? So we have, correct, 4 over 2. And then, let us separate the two roots. So we have x of 1, which is equal to negative 8 plus 4 over 2. And x of 2 is equal to negative 8 minus 4 over 2. Okay, so let us solve. So since we have different signed integers here, we have to subtract. So 8 minus 4 will give you 4 over 2. Since the bigger number is negative, so magiging negative 4. So, negative 4 divided by 2, the answer is negative 2. So, that is our first root, negative 2. Okay, so lagay na natin doon. For our second root, we have x sub 2 is equal to negative 8 minus 4. Since we have same signed integers, so we can add. So, the answer is negative 12 over 2. So, negative 12 divided by 2, the answer is negative 6. So our second root is negative 6. Okay, for us to get the sum of the roots, we are going to use the formula x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is equal to negative b over a. So the value of b in our given is 8. So magiging negative 8 dahil may negative b rito, papalitan natin yung sign. So from positive 8, naging negative 8 dahil dun sa formula of over 1. So negative 8 divided by 1, ang sagot natin is negative 8. So as you've observed, class, when we add negative 2 and negative 6, the answer is negative 8. That's why we get the sum of the roots, which is negative 8. Now, for our product of the roots, we are going to use the formula x sub 1 times x sub 2 is equal to c over a. What is the value of c? So we have 12 in number 1. Okay, all over, what is the value of a? So we have 1. So 12 divided by 1, the answer is 12. So you will write here 12. So as you've observed, when I multiply negative 2 to negative 6, the result or the product would be positive 12. So that will be your final answer for number 1. Now let's move on with number 2. Okay, I will make space here. So number 2, again, we're going to use the formula x is equal to negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So what is the value of b in our number 2? So the value of b is negative 7. Dahil may negative sa labas, yung negative b, papalitan natin siya ng sign. So kasi negative times negative will give you positive 7. Kaya siya naging positive 7 plus and minus the square root of yung b sa loob dahil walang negative, hindi natin papalitan ng sign. So kung negative 7 nakalagay doon, so negative 7 pa rin dito. Negative 7 to the second power minus 4. What is the value of a in our number 2? So we have 5. How about the value of c? So we have negative 6 over 2 times. Yes, so we have 5. Okay, let's solve. So we have negative 7 plus and minus the square root of 7 times 7 or negative times negative will give you positive 49. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 20 times negative 6 will give you positive 120 all over 10. Okay, 49 plus 120 is equal to 169 over 10. So the square root of 169 is 13. So 7 plus and minus 13 over 10. So we can now separate the two answers. Yan. So x sub 1 is equal to 7 plus 13 over 10. Sa kabila, x sub 2 is equal to 7 minus 13 over 10. So x sub 1 is equal to 20 over 10 because 7 plus 13 is 20. So 20 divided by 10. So x sub 1 is equal to 2. Yan. For our x sub 2, we have 7 minus 13. Since 13 is the bigger number, so we will follow the sign negative. So 7 minus 13 will give you negative 6 over 10. Can we divide 6 to 10? No. So ang magiging sagot natin ay lowest term lamang kung meron. May lowest term ba ang 6 at saka 10? Yes, meron. So ano ang kanilang GCF? So we can divide 6 and 10 both by 2. So 6 divided by 2, the answer is 3. 10 divided by 2, the answer is 5. So we just copy the sign. So we have negative 3 over 5 because negative divided by positive is negative. So the answer is still negative 3 all over 5. So we have already our answer for our roots. So we have 2 and negative 3 over 5. So for us to get the sum of the roots, again, so we have x sub 1, sum, So we have x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is equal to negative b over a. So our value of b is, in our given, is negative 7. Tulad ng sabi ko, dahil may negative sa formula, papalitan natin magiging positive 7 over, what is our A? So we have 5. Can we divide 7 to 5? No. Meron bang GCF at 7 ang 7 at 5 para ma-lowest term? Wala din. So ito na yung ating sum of the roots. So lagay na natin siya sa sum of the roots, 7 over 5. Tapos, for the product of the roots, we have x sub 1 times x sub 2 for our product. So we have C over A in our formula. So what is the value of C in our given? So we have negative 6. So lagay natin, negative 6 over, what is our given in our A again? So we have 5. So we have 5 here. Yan. So therefore class, negative 6 over 5, wala rin siyang lowest term. So eto na rin yung magiging answer natin. So yan ang sagot natin sa number 2. Now class, punta tayo sa number 3. Okay, for our number 3, ayusin natin ha. Okay, number 3. Okay, number 3, we have 4x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Tandaan natin ha. So, let us use the formula ha. X is equal to negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a para malaman natin yung value ng roots. Ha? Ay nga pala, hindi natin nasulat kanina yung negative 6 over 5 dito. Huwag kakalimutan ha. Okay, now class, punta na tayo rito ulit sa number 3. So our B is negative 5. Dahil may negative dito, papalitan lang natin yung sign. So magiging positive 5. So x is equal to positive 5 plus and minus. Dahil walang negative yung B dito, negative 5 pa rin. The second power minus 4a. Anong A? We have 4. Anong C? We have negative 6. Over 2 times, anong ating A? So we have 4. So x is equal to 5 plus and minus the square root of, what is 5 times 5? So we have 25. Positive yan dahil negative times negative is positive. Same sign, multiply natin, ang sagot ay positive. So 25, so we have 4 times 4, the answer is negative 16. So negative times positive, magkaiba ng sign, ang sagot ay negative. Negative 16 times negative 6 will give you 16 times 6. So solve natin. So 16 times 6, 6 times 6, 36, carry 3. So we have 96 plus 96. All over 2 times 4, we have 8. Okay, 25 plus 96. The answer is 121. Okay, square root of 121 all over 8. Anong square root ng 121? Yes, we have 11. 5 plus and minus 11 all over 8. Then we can separate those two. And tanggalin natin yan. So we have x sub 1 is equal to 5 plus 11 all over 8. X sub 2, we have 5 minus 11 all over 8. So we have 5 plus 11, the answer is 16 over 8. 16 divided by 8, the answer is 2. So our first root is 2. Now for our second root, we have to subtract 5 and 11. Since 11 is much bigger than 5, then the answer would be negative. So 5 minus 11, the answer is negative 6 over 8. Can we divide 6 to 8? No. Can we find for the lowest term of 6 and 8? Yes. So the GCF of 6 and 8 is 2. 6 divided by 2, the answer is 3. 8 divided by 2, the answer is 4. So the lowest term of 6/8 is 3/4. Okay? So negative divided by positive is negative. So ang answer natin dito is negative 3/4. So pwede na natin silang ilagay doon sa ating table. So we have, for our first root, we have 2. And for our second root, we have negative 3/4. Okay, class, let's move on with the sum of the roots. So for our sum of the roots, our formula is x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is equal to negative b over a. Dahil negative b to at negative yung given natin, magiging positive. So, magiging 5 over 4. Madidivide ba ang 5 sa 4? Hindi. So, ang 5/4 ay hindi madidivide. So, eto na kaagad yung ating magiging final answer kasi wala rin siyang lowest term. So, 5 over 4. Now, para naman sa pangatlo, we have x sub 1, or panghuli pala, sorry. For our product, we have x sub 1 times x sub 2 is equal to c over a. So, ang value ng c ay negative 6. Hindi napapalitan ng sign sa c ha, kasi wala namang negative doon sa formula, unlike doon sa nasa letter B. Meron tayong negative sa formula, that's why we have to change the sign. So, all over 4. Madidivide ba ang 6 sa 4? Hindi. Pero mahahanap natin ang lowest term ng 6/4. Ano ang lowest term ng 6/4? So, kunin natin ang GCF which is 2. Pareha silang madidivide sa 2. So, the answer would be negative 3 over 2. So, ito yung ating magiging final answer sa product. Then, tapos na natin gawin yung table. So, class, make sure ipapakita nyo yung ating solution sa pagsasagot. Kasi kailangan may solution for us to know na talagang ginawa ninyo ng ayos yung ating topic for this week. Yung sum and product of the roots at saka yung pagkuha ng roots para ma-refresh na rin kayo. So you have to show the solution at the back of your paper as long as possible. Thank you!